Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Rundown, episode number 24, I believe. Why do I never remember the fucking numbers of this podcast, man?
We should do this before we start recording.
We really fucking should. That I'm gonna keep it a bug. That one's on me. I apologize for that. This is a
Nah,
professional outlet. This
I'm
is a
here
professional
too. I should also be helping out. It's not just you. What number is it?
24. It is in fact 24. I was correct. Uh
I mean, I will say, ironically, every time you say, I think it's X number, you do tend to get it.
That's good. I at least have something resembling a head on my shoulders. I think the big news for this week is talking about Concord. Just to get right into it.
Yeah, I
Have
saw
you heard about
something about
this?
it. I know this is what PlayStation's attempt at a hero shooter. It had really bad reception at the beta, which released a few months ago, and it just released like less than a week or 2 weeks ago, right?
Oh, I want to be clear that from what I hear from people in the beta, it wasn't bad. It seemed like a
It was
very tight shooter, uninspired.
just very slow, and a lot of the ideas in it could be presented in better games that are free to play. This was also released as a $40 title.
Right. Versus what Valve has been doing with their new game Deadlock, which I've been playing quite a bit of on stream, which is a MOBA hero shooter, which leans more on the MOBA side than the hero shooter side, if I'm being perfectly honest. But it is quite good. I've enjoyed my time with it quite a bit. It's been quite a thing. But to bring it back to Concord, I think the reason why something like an Overwatch, and I'm kind of like uh, uh, um, uh, taking a little bit from a few different folks I've whose analysis I'm just kind of extrapolating from a few different people. The big thing is that Concord is artistically not great. It's too realistic in a way. I think that I think Beliar Gaming kind of said that if you put a black backdrop over all of the characters, like each character in Overwatch, most of them at least have unique silhouettes that allow you to pick them out of the group. Versus Conquered, which is just humanoid person in a trench coat, humanoid person, slightly bigger humanoid person, slightly smaller humanoid person, feminine person, masculine person, hyper masculine person, big ass fucking robot.
I think also it's 10 years too late. When
Yeah.
did the original Overwatch release? That was 2012, 2013, maybe even 2011.
The original Overwatch released it in
Oh,
2016,
2016.
but
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah,
still
that was
almost a decade ago.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if it released 2016 to 2020 even prior to Apex, it probably would have done good for what it was. But releasing at a $40 price tag when every other main behemoth in that genre of video game is doing it at such a lower price tag, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why invest? The other part of this is, and we talk about this with the games as a service games, but there's only so much fucking time in your day. What are you going to choose to do? Continue to play the games that you have a long-standing history and all of the skins, paid DLC if that's what you're into, if you like it enough,
Or you're gonna
versus
start a new one.
with a premium dollar price tag attached to it. That's also expecting more of your time to be
So,
sacrificed.
so I will say this though. I actually think that the $40 price tag is not as big of an issue as people give it credit for. I don't know if it has microtransactions or not.
I'm saying
It
for this genre because even Valorant is what 15 to 20 if anything. I don't really know. I'm not a Valorant player.
I think that I think it's free to play.
Oh, it's free? I mean, that's what I'm saying. You have Overwatch 2. Say what you want about it. I'm not saying it's better than the original Overwatch in a lot of ways, but free to play. So is Valorant. So is Apex. I know that's not really a hero shooter, that's more FPS, but like that's kind of the same vein.
Yeah, it's like, here's the thing: if Concord was an extraction shooter, that would be more in line with the current like hop on the on the trend gaming thing today. You know what I mean? Like, um, you have a like it's almost like they like TF2 is more relevant today than, I would say even Overwatch is at this point. Like, more people are ostensibly like that aren't bots are playing TF2 now than Overwatch.
Yeah, I believe it because it's Activision, right? Overwatch is Activision.
Yeah, well, it's also on
Activision.
Steam. It's also on Steam now as well.
Well, I'm saying Activision dropped the ball with a lot of things from Overwatch 1 to 2. When Overwatch 2 released, it was not a good received game. So there.
I want to apologize to everybody listening to the recording why there was about 10 seconds of just dead air. For some reason, randomly, my computer just decides, hey, all of the display ports are going to refresh, all of the USB ports are going to refresh, and everything's just going to be fucked. So, unfortunately, I don't know why it decides to do this, but it does. Fuck me, I guess. I apologize for that inconvenience, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, you can hear me. We're going to continue the discussion. My hands, at least until I can fix this while we are recording, are going to be frozen on top of my head for the time being.
Yeah, you're really captivated by what I'm saying. No, I'm just glad that we didn't lose the recording, genuinely, because that
Right,
was some
though?
pretty good content. But yeah, and I also think to your point of it being unimaginative and not really artistically pleasing, it's definitely true. It seems like I'm not saying it has AI assets in it, but it very much looks like AI, hey, very generic humanoid character in hero shooter, big, small, woman, man, boom. So,
I don't even think it's so much. I don't think it was like so much AI generated. It's just like I think we.
No. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it's
Oh, no,
like
oh yeah, yeah,
AI
yeah.
generated esque.
Yeah, it's like AI generated. Just like today, feel is like treating AI generated as like a synonym for just like uninspired,
Basic, yeah.
basic, like not like compelling art. Like just like some shit on the level of like a Jeff Koons. Like just terrible. Yeah.
And that's what I also think a lot of current day video games are kind of missing outside of the indie double A space is the charm because you got to remember a lot of especially in the early 2000s 90s 80s 70s of video games the charm of the character was always so apparent and important. There's no way Nintendo would have been able to say video games if they didn't have very charming inspiring cutesy characters that a lot of people identify immediately. Nowadays, if I showed you any character from Concord, I'm willing to bet you would be like, this doesn't give me any feeling. And that's what AAA developers seem to be missing in this space. And it's sad.
Guardians of the Galaxy themed fucking hero shooter. Like, Overwatch isn't as popular as it used to be. Guardians of the Galaxy's cultural relevance is kind of like they did their third movie. It's done. Like,
it's diminishing at best. That's the best compliment I could give.
yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy are fun. Don't get me wrong; their movies hold up to this day. But let's be real; they're not like like fucking what's his name? What's the homophobic Chris's name? Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt.
Okay. There you go.
Chris Pratt. He like if Chris Pratt dresses up as Star Lord, like people aren't gonna be like, oh my god. But I don't know, man. It feels unfortunate in a way. Like, I think and what bums me out is that nobody who probably made the decision to make this fucking shooter is going to get punished for it. It's going to be all the developers that worked on it, and they're going to lose their goddamn jobs.
Yep. More layoffs, earning calls, investor calls about how earnings weren't as good as the last quarter, whatever bullshit it is. So, it's just the same old stuff all over again. When will they learn? When will they learn?
Here's the thing. The problem is that it's kind of the problem that's wrong with most companies nowadays. The people that run companies and make the decisions are MBAs. They're MBAs. Boeing was one of the most prolific, trusted, and reputable companies to work for in the United States, and was synonymous with quality and safety and good engineering. And then they did a merger with a competitor so they could get into the commercial airline space. And because the people that were at Boeing were former engineers, so they were like very like taciturn, a matter of fact about making sure that things get done properly. And the people from the other place were MBAs, and therefore they were sharks. The people from the other place ended up having a higher concentration of people in management at Boeing from the other company. And they started doing shit like increasing quotas, putting pressure on returns, fighting the unions, like
Finding standards, all this.
Right. So it's like when you have Blizzard was best when the people in charge of making the decisions at Blizzard were developers. Now, there was still a ton of toxic bullshit going on at Blizzard at the time that is inexcusable, sexual harassment notwithstanding. But there was a measurable decline in Blizzard's capacity once Activision took over. And you want to know why Activision was able to buy Blizzard? It's because the people at Blizzard wanted to make Overwatch for console, and they did not have the expertise. They were a PC company, and this is a reminder that this was during a period of time when PC gaming was on a decades long decline. Nobody wanted to make games for PC. Nobody prioritized making games for PC. PC ports are okay now. They used to be ass.
Historically terrible.
If they were made at all.
Yep.
So functionally, at the end of the day, ultimately, Blizzard, not like this. The work environment got worse under Activision, and for what did they do this? To be able to make Overwatch and get it to as many people as they could. And it wasn't even worth it for that in the end. Why? Because after a couple years, they just didn't fucking maintain Overwatch anymore. They were focused completely on Overwatch 2, and the game fucking died. Then they brought back out Overwatch 2, and its numbers never recovered. It never recovered. They did not maintain the community. When you have a game that is purely multiplayer like that, you have to do something to resemble like a drip of content. That's why, for years, there would be a new Call of Duty every year, because they would stop patching the fucking game, eventually, and then everybody would just move on over to the next one. Because that's where all the new content was. That's where all the new people were. There's now that, so ultimately at the end of the day, Overwatch was huge. Everybody I knew played it. Everybody fucking played it. And now nobody I know does. I don't know a single human being that unironically plays Overwatch.
Well, I think that's also the current problem with these online-only video games. It's so many aspects that if you're not in it as a paid player, 9 times out of 10 you're not getting a lot of the content. And
I think that if you are playing a game with microtransactions, I believe that if you pay the full price of like the amount of money for a full price game, if you are a free player and you have a free to play experience, you enjoy it, that's great. If you pay, I think if you do end up, I think that microtransactions and all that shit and like paying like pay to win shit, like there, I think it could like if it's a free to play game and you pay money, you should have an increased experience for the duration that you play that game based off of the amount of money you played. If you pay $10, you're paying like you're having the enjoyment as if you played for like $10 for any game. If you paid $60, you should not have to pay any more than that $60 for as long as you are playing that free to play game to enjoy yourself. Like that, like I think that if you are doing a free to play game that it sustains itself on microtransactions, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But if you have to pay like hundreds of dollars a month to be able to enjoy the game, that is just exploitatory. Hell, I wouldn't even have a problem with it if like the game expected you to spend an average of $15 a month to be able to have that elevated experience.
Real quick,
there are Steam subs and shit too.
I was gonna say real quick, how do you feel about not necessarily like Game Pass and things like that? Not that. But like Stellaris is a perfect example of this. They have a subscription service. You could look it up on Steam right now under the Stellaris page. That is, if you pay, I think it's $15 to $20 a month, you get all of the DLC, all access to the DLC. Every month you
I already paid for something like that. I pay $15 a month for ESO Plus. Elder Scrolls Online Plus. Elder Scrolls Online is an MMO that you can pay for once. You can buy the new chapter when it comes out every year for like $48 to upgrade, whatever, fine. Like you're paying for an entire game anyways with that new chapter coming out. Who cares? But you pay $20 for Elder Scrolls Online. You get a chunk of content over the last decade to play, more than you would probably need. Like if you're just gonna, you can play that, you can download, spend $20 on Elder Scrolls Online, and there's enough content in that $20 that if you just treated Elder Scrolls Online like a fucking RPG, like a Guild Wars 1 where there's people running around and shit, but you're just going through the story, interacting with characters, fighting things, collecting things, getting loot and leveling up, and you just wanted to fucking quit once you got to like level 50 or like level or like to the Torbacks or to the CP standard of like 160. Be my fucking guest. Be my guest. Like Elder Scrolls Online is one of those games that is very much a case of it is a good game on its own merits, and it's also an MMO. And I choose to pay monthly or yearly. I paid yearly before I had no money, so I still paid up on it. I get a bag which stores all my crafting materials, so I don't have to micromanage my storage for them. I have, 10% experience gain, 10% gold gain, a couple of other perks, like I can like the amount of things I can like decorate with my house is increased is multiplied by 2. Shit like I get like special deals and stuff from the in Play to Win store. And when you pay for your monthly membership, you get like the exact like the amount of money you would normally get for in crowns, like the premium currency. If you spend $15 on crowns, you get like that with your membership plus some more. I have no problem like morally doing that. And while you are subscribed to that, you get all of the non-chapter DLC, all the dungeons that are new, all of the new content that's new for access, because most of that content costs about $10-$20 a piece. Now,
so real quick, this is just what I want to understand about this process though. Let's say you have DLC content and then your subscription lapses. What happens to that stuff in your inventory? Does it get taken? That's how it should be. Because
here's the thing: the gear that you can get from those DLC zones, you can just buy in the auction house, or somebody can give to you. The gear that you get itself is not what you're paying for. It is being able to access the area it's in, the quests that are in that area, and all the content that they're within, and maybe one of the new features that they added. For example, if you in actually, now that I think about it, like anything that you need ESO Plus to access is like doesn't have any new features that are tied off. The only time features that are tied off come with they add new features with the chapters.
See, that would be the only fear that I have going forward.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: you can't get the subscription.
No. I'm not saying with I'm not saying with ESO online. I'm saying more so with like if Bethesda, not Bethesda, if Ubisoft, EA,
Ubisoft would do that shit. Ubisoft
this is what I'm saying. If you pay for that every single month, what would happen to the content that you receive, and then it lapses in the the subscription? I'm just scared. See, I would never do it with Stellaris because I'm only scared that if I start a campaign, I get really deep into it that has DLC elements, and then I don't pay because something happens.
Well, here's a game that's a good example of that. Here's a game that's a great example of that.
No, I'm saying
Wizard 101. Wizard 101.
Oh, that as well.
Wizard 101 is coming to console.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so King's Isle needs to, and like people and everybody in the community is making a point of just like Act 1, which is the first 4 worlds and some change, all need to be free.
Makes sense.
All of Wizard City, no.
Wizard 101 is not free.
The free to play trial is still exactly what it was a decade and a half ago.
Jeez.
You play that bitch for 30 minutes and you hit a fucking paywall.
That's insane. How much is it?
$8 a month.
I mean, that's not horrible, but Jesus Christ.
More than RuneScape, less than WoW.
True.
And don't get me wrong, Wizard 101's fun. I love it. I love the art direction. I love the card game aspect. It's all great. Here's my thing. Like, we're all grown adults. Everybody that plays that game is grown. Everyone that plays that game is a grown-ass man or woman.
Probably.
We're all grown. Like, nobody that is under the... Nobody, like they either need to, like...
Maybe some, like, really niche alternative traditional kids are, like, still playing with that and, like, Tamagotchis. But, yeah. There's really no kids on it.
No, and, like, so it's, like, if you want to... Here's the thing. If they're bringing it to console, they need to do the following things. Act 1, i.e. the beginning of the game, all the beginning areas of the game, Crocotopia, Mushu, Dragonspire, Marleybow. Wait. So all of Wizard City, the starting area, Mushu, Dragonspire, Crocotopia, Marleybow. Those 5 worlds, all free. All the content that is on those worlds, all free. Second, they need to also make sure that they're adding they also need to add voice chat.
That would make sense. It's so easy in console.
Yeah, it's like because it's like
I do want to return just really quick to the original point. I just want to say no worries. I just also want to say, like, I hear the people who would say, like, hey, what about my digital ownership? I can't have physical ownership. Now I can't even have it with my DLC. And I'm not necessarily saying that they should take away the option for you to own the DLC or the extra content as well. That should always be an option. I'm just saying with the constant, just because it's a game I play, Warframe is a perfect example. The constant free updates always come with paid stuff that you could eventually grind and get and stuff like that. And that's all I'm saying. Like, it is there. It is a time-consuming process. I understand why sometimes you want to cut down on that time. But also, you should be able to pay for a certain subscription every month that just $10 to $20 flat, and you get everything in the game, all access. So, boom. You know?
Yeah, but like, I think ultimately the only way you're going to be able to, like, truly own the things that you want to buy is that you also like pirate it simultaneously.
Yeah, because then because the argument is you don't have genuine ownership until you could actually distort and manipulate it any way you want, like a piece of
Exactly.
technology.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
I understand it. I get it. I'm just like,
Just so long as you cannot resell that, like, you know. But even then, I think you should be able to. Like, but you can't sell. You can only sell like one. Like, I think, like you can only just you can't
see, I
distribute it
don't
for
know.
free.
I don't necessarily agree. I agree with distributing for free depending on who it is, but I think with certain, it shouldn't be like a everything that is released gets distributed for free
That's not
regardless.
what I
Like
was
that,
saying. That's not what I was
no,
saying.
no, no.
If you buy
I'm
a
saying,
thing, if you buy a MacGuffin and you manipulate that MacGuffin, you should be able to sell that MacGuffin and get your money back if you want. But you can only sell it once. You can't like sell
yeah, yeah.
multiple. Like that's
So what I'm saying is I agree with you because
yeah,
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 you shouldn't be able to replicate it infinitely and then profit off of that. That's what I'm saying. If
yeah.
you give it away for free, who am I to make a moral argument against it? Do what you want. But if you
Right.
are forcing people to pay for it and you're replicating it indefinitely, then you're just counterfeiting money at that point. That's how I
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. Yo, on a completely different topic, you want to see some fuck shit?
Sure.
I might have to explain to you why it's fuck shit, but I want to share this with you.
Let's see. What is it?
Calling all developers. This is from Twitter developer, like the Twitter
Oh
developer account.
God.
Innovate with our real-time and historical data on the X API. Get started with Pro instantly. And I say build whatever's next with our API. And when
Okay.
you click it, it takes you to fucking like filtered stream API, right?
How
300
much is that a month? Is that $5,000 a month? Are they out of their minds? No, I know about this a
It,
little bit.
it
This is
used it used to be free, and I commented on this bitch. Did you revert the insane rate limit costs? Evidently not, because they're
free.
smoking crack.
Yeah, like just let me try and explain it
Basic is 100%, $100 a month. Fuck me,
very
dude.
quickly. Let me try and explain it, and then you'll come in and actually explain it right.
Go
So,
for it.
long story short, this is how, and also stop me where I'm wrong if I start to like completely veer off.
Mhm.
But this is how like news agencies and weather reports and things like that can update real time in X/Twitter, including like weather updates, especially harmful weather, traffic updates regarding accidents and shit like that. Hospitals, God forbid, there's an emergency and they need to really update people on a live scale. Even news agencies and shit like that, right? So go ahead, you explain it smart now.
Okay, so let's take this, shall we? So
You should go
you're nothing.
pirate
Nothing you said was
and pull up.
incorrect, but
Uh,
nothing you said was incorrect. But I do want to extrapolate a tiny bit.
no, please, please. I was just gonna say I thought you were gonna pull up Microsoft Paint and explain it like pirate. I was gonna be like,
You know
okay,
what?
that
You know what? You know what? Honestly, you say that, but you know what? Fine. Excalidraw.
okay.
Fine, I'll do it. I'll do it that way. Fine. So so let's where's the fucking paint thing? Okay, cool. So the entire internet, you know, the World Wide Web, you know, I'm trying to my best to draw a bad globe here,
Okay.
is basically when you type in like google.com, that is like putting in your address. Like if when you are like
Think of it
wanting
like
to,
a GPS navigation system, right?
so it's like if you are located somewhere, there are things. You live in a house. This
Your IP
house
address.
is located somewhere. Right, that's your IP. Not even your IP. That it could be your IP. It could be the data that makes up a website. It could be the it could be the endpoint that serves you data. Like, this is where the stuff is. This Google.com is just the address. This address could, like, the name, like fucking, just to fucking use like the address of like an old Walgreens I used to go to, 2A Trolley Square, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801 2 18021 6 18006, whatever, I don't care. Point is that all of that could be anything. Anything could be at that Walgreens. It could be a fucking Stop and Shop. It could be a fucking Shake Shack. It could be whatever. But that is what is that address. And also that address could like be anywhere. That address could be anywhere, anything. Like that address just in for a different reason could be like somewhere across the country. It's just words that point you to this location.
Okay.
When you open up a website, it hits the server, it hits the location on the internet where certain things are hosted, and that is what you're seeing on the screen. There is a reason why there is one nonprofit that manages all of this, because you have to have one central entity take care of this. When I buy a domain through GoDaddy, like I'm paying ICANN fees, which is the nonprofit that manages this shit worldwide. So the thing is this, right? This URL is not a great way of getting data, because when you hit this URL, just the normal google.com, you get everything needed to like be able to use it. So what I as a developer will do, and I will pull and I will actually, just to show an example, I'll pull up some of my code and I'll show you. This is the HIMedia Hub website in code form. I built this all myself. All of this is like of my creation. And so I'm going to pull up, let's just, as an example, app directory. Let's go to cookbook. Cookbook's not a good one. Let's look at the Hall of Shame. Hall of Shame, this is the place where I post up all of the motherfuckers that are soliciting during my Twitch streams. There's a text view, they got a card view, they got a text view, say love it. So for this, I go to all of this stuff you see here is pulled from this list, the shame list. This is what, when you say, or searching on Google, you type into Google,
cat videos
or fart buckle.
Okay.
And like you get a bunch of stuff. Like all of these things, what is actually sent, you have all the UI stuff that's on your thing, but what's actually sent to you that is actually pulled from the request is just a bunch of data that like comes in like a JSON like this. You don't see it, you don't see this JSON, you don't have access to it, but that is what the server kind of calls. It kind of takes that data and packages it up and sends it out in this format.
I also like to think of it as people who sketch and how they erase all the sketch lines, and you only have the final product. This is all the sketch line, pretty much.
Kind of.
You just don't get rid of it. It just comes together. Right.
So, like, the data that's sent to you, like, could come this way. Usually, it's in a way where like the data is sent directly through code. But
I'm just talking about how a website is built. Like, this is all the sketch, and then the website is the final picture. Yeah.
Well, no. So So when you hit a URL, what's actually sent to you is this, or that's not the correct thing. What's actually sent to you when you call a website is the HTML file. the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript file, and then this is what is displayed.
Mm.
So sometimes the data, like, but if you like if you want to display data dynamically on a website, you can't just have them constantly refresh and pull data like a new HTML every single time. That's inefficient. So what you do is you use JavaScript to automatically pull it from a link, an endpoint like this. So this HTTPS raw GitHub or user content, my name, and then like a link to the Shameless, which is again this thing that was right here. And it pulls this, and then it pulls this from the server and displays it. So like the background, the picture, the buttons, the titles, the color of the thing, everything, like the color of everything, that is all, like even how these are all formatted are all done in the initial HTML that you get pulled from the server. Then when it loads up, it simultaneously pulls data from this file, adding it to here. Why did I go over all of this to explain how a website dynamically updates itself? And I explained this very poorly. I apologize. That is because APIs, the thing that Twitter is talking about here, are an application programming interface, is the backbone of not just the internet, but software development in general. See, when you're building an application, you can send data, like, and manipulate that data however you want within that application. But every single, application in the world kind of processes data a little differently. There's different standards, there's different ways, the variables are named differently, methods are named differently, nothing is the same, and there's no way you can guarantee that everything is the same. So what do? You reduce what the data looks like down to its simplest form, and you send it in a packet called a JSON file. And so what'll happen is that a program will send out this JSON file. Another application will take the information within it, format it in such a way that that their program is able to read it, and then take that data from somewhere else and display it or use it for whatever they want. When I was working at JPMorgan Chase, we would have tons of data. There was data that we would get packaged to us internally that that is not needed or not recommended to be displayed in our program. So one of the things we would do is our intake, methods would cut out, I just want the person's name. I don't want their date banned. I don't want their reason for a ban. I just want the ID and the name. I would just take data. I would set a filter that would basically get rid of this. And so then that data does not interface with the rest of the thing, but everything moves smoothly forward regardless. Here's the thing you will have to understand. This is not a one-time thing. When you are just testing these alone, you are hitting these where you get the locations where you get this data from, or endpoints. A lot of times APIs will have things called endpoints, which are basically this up here. Like, this is an endpoint. If you typed this URL, any of you wanted to type this URL in and get access to this data and use it for whatever you want, you could. If you had a program tomorrow and you wanted to, make a program that said all the people Evan banned because he was a whiny little bitch, and have that be and display that using my data, you could. Some APIs, some APIs can have restrictions and a whitelist preventing only making sure certain people use them, whatever. But by and large, anybody can grab this if they want it. Now, here's the problem. A lot of programs, especially that are all hitting the same endpoint, will hit it a lot. their basic thing where you have to pay $100 a month for to post 3,000 things per month. And so when it says read and write, these mean different things. Reading something means I am hitting the endpoint and just viewing the data that was pulled. Writing is I am adding something to the server, creating something new. So let me see if I can find they're free. Here's how bullshit it is. You are rate limited, meaning you are limited or not able to do certain things with the code. You are limited to posting 150 posts per month. This, by the way, that posting limit is both read and write. When you read something, write something, update something, anything, you can only interact with the server 1,500 times in a month before you can know your app just doesn't work anymore as a free user. That is insane. You will go through at least 600 to 800 interactions with the server just fucking testing, just hitting Postman. Postman being a application that developers use to test whether or not endpoints work in a quick and dynamic fashion. One of the biggest reasons why Twitter is no longer useful and no longer popular was because Elon Musk took their API, which originally was one of the last freely open and developer-friendly APIs that you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted with. Not completely, but mostly. And he put it behind a $5,000 a month paywall. Unless you are building like some pedantic little bullshit that you are never going to share with the world, you're getting the 5,000 because only 3,000 like posts per month at the user level is insane. Being only able to read 10,000, like if you are actively developing an app that you are planning on people using, that's not enough. You're constantly going to be developing, and if people are using the app, they're going to be hitting that limit as well. I apologize if your eyes have started glazing over with my explanation.
I did not think this was the Twitter news you were going to talk about. I did hear about it. My background information did not help to understand past like the 5-minute point of what you were talking about. I tried though.
I
sorry. Tried.
Yeah, there's
all good. All good. I understand. But
yeah.
The Twitter news I thought you were going to bring up is the fact that Diddy was an original helper of Elon Musk getting and acquiring fucking X. Everybody, or just real quick, everybody on X is officially part of the Diddy party, and they didn't even know.
Yeah, honest to God, like that's probably like the least offensive thing like Diddy has done recently. Like,
well, everybody was saying that's why X is so fucking freaky.
Nah, Elon Musk knows he can't ban porn.
No, literally. But
everybody, it's like all the people that bitch about porn on Twitter are the same ones that consume porn on Twitter.
So just maybe limit this to like a 2 to 3 minute response. Does any of that influence or have an impact on not customer, but like interactions with people who are viewing the content?
What do you mean?
Like, does it limit the possibility of interactions at all, or it just limits the amount that you're able to post to your actual like
It it
feed?
it limits reading and writing. So reading meaning like, say I wanted to build like my own personal version of like user like, a version of Twitter that basically filters out, you know, that automatically filters out through the out like the like bullshit from the algorithm. Say I wanted to make like a feed where I'm like anyone with this kind of like
No spam
thing,
content, no push in bio
anything,
content. Yeah.
or anything like if they have like a right wing symbol in their bio,
Okay. So
like
you
if
could
they,
specify it. Gotcha.
yeah, say I wanted to do that, and there have been people that have done that, and I just wanted it for personal
Mm.
use, no more than that. Because I'm like getting my stuff down from my feed, I would hit that in like a day or two maybe, and that's if I'm using it like intermittently, like
Huh.
because the thing is that every time you call the server for whatever reason, and here's the thing: when you're calling things to read, that's usually much more frequent and much more like than a write. A write is like me posting something or like there's the terminology, there's read, write, and there's read, write, and then there's read and write is like two things. Write, I think, might also contribute like changing things. Like if you have something like a script to automatically change your profile picture to like something based on a holiday or whatever, like that also counts. But like also
Yeah.
just getting data from the server, like every comment, every reply, all counts.
My information with read and write is from fucking discs. So yeah,
you're
I'm
you're you're
outdated.
you're good. It just the last thing I'll say on it before we move on to something else or whatever is ultimately like read and write can be honestly classified into four separate things. Um, a get, post, put, delete.
Okay.
Get is just read. Get is just reading. Post, put, and delete. Delete is what it sounds like. Post is basically adding something, and put is editing something and adding something. So like, get is get, so get is read, and those other three are like when they say write, it's those three put together.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, that's that. Do you want to know? So, I know you couldn't give a rat's ass about Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, you want to hear something?
Yes, Zayn Malik won, right? He won?
No, no, he was the Shadow Duelist. He was like supposed to be like the big bad person you're supposed to fight at the end of like a Master Duel tournament they held.
Oh, okay. He was like the final boss. That's funny.
I'm like, I think that people are like overly mad about it. I know that there are a lot of people with former One
Why?
Directioner girlfriends who like love Zayn Malik. Who I'm like, you could use this as an opportunity to try and get your girlfriend into Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe have her play Zayn Malik's deck and like learn it together. Use that as a fucking onboarding, you uncreative fucks. Like I'm just like I saw all these people mad. Don't get me wrong. The premise of it was stupid as shit. Just they should have taken the money that they've been getting and invested it in making the app better. But like, hey, listen. I know Meadow liked One Direction in the past. Like, let me fucking use that as an excuse to get her ass on board with it. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean,
shit.
that's what people do. I will just say though, it seems akin, and maybe this is a fucked up opinion, but this is a genuine position that I have. And say what you want about it in the comments. I don't really care. But it seems like anybody who is a non one-to-one representation of what uh the anime or game culture is about. Like what I'm saying is pretty much like black anime content cosplay creators that constantly upload different videos and whatever will always get like hateful comments. And I think that's just like the anime commenters are so part of a toxic world that that is to be expected. Not that that is excused, but I do kind of buy into that argument. Not that I'm a hate poster at all. I despise people who do it. But I do think that it's like a rite of passage. It's like walking the coals of actually becoming a loved and iconic cosplayer. Because, I mean, like, Megan the Stallion is a perfect example of this. People always talk shit on her, but at the very least, she is doing an accurate representation 9 times out of 10 of either the anime, video game series, whatever content that she is trying to represent. And I just think that without those comments, I don't think that you should. I don't think that you are necessarily respected in the eyes of other people, part of the community. I don't know. It's weird, fucked up, but I'm starting to understand that as part of the internet anime culture.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of over anime at this point. Japan kind of creeps me out.
I get that. Depends which ones. I mean, some of these are getting out of hand. Like, I've been reincarnated as a fridge. That's a genuine anime. There's another anime that's like, I secretly
Like
think
a
my.
shit post. That sounds like
No,
a
I
shit
swear,
post.
I swear to God. Look it up real quick.
You are fucking lying. You are fucking lying. I was reincarnated as a fridge.
No, as a slime. I'm sorry. As a slime.
I actually have read that one. It's actually not that bad. It's one of the better isekais. It's not dog shit.
But look, no. I'm not wrong. Look up vending machine anime. I know there is one. I'm not fucking around.
Fucking God, it's real.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Touch grass. Can we get an original fucking thought for 10 seconds? I beg. I
told you. It looks like a fridge. It looks like a fridge. You can't tell me that isn't a fridge. I know it says vending machine, but that's a fridge.
And is the blonde chick gonna fuck in the vending machine?
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. So the anime is getting out of hand.
I thought the fucking smartphone one was, like, already self-fucking-indulgent. Are you? Oh! I think we need to drop the third bomb. I think we need to drop the third bomb. Like, I...
Oh, not them romancing with the vending machines.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate that entire...
Wow. I think after all this, I need to go lay down.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the rundown. This has been our 24th episode. Brian has dealt all of us psychic damage, and you guys are more than welcome to go into our Discord, at him at bman1222, and bully him in general. And I encourage you to do so. And I will instruct my mods to not stop you from doing so.
Confusion was super effective.
Follow Brian below at his Instagram at Brian no.2_Brian. Or don't. Block him on Instagram instead, maybe.
I just want to clarify one thing. I don't watch that. I just have seen it on Crunchyroll.
And you made the active, deliberate choice to tell me it existed. I was gonna bring up, like, hey, did you see the new Space Marine footage? And now we don't get to talk about that. You need to have punishment.
It's okay. I have a countdown for Space Marine. It's cool. I don't need to see any video. I'll be experiencing it. It's all good. But yeah, I can't believe that's a real anime. I would not
Fucking,
watch that.
fucking. You know what? The only one of the only isekai animes that's probably worth watching is the original isekai anime ReZero.
Makes
Like,
sense.
because it's the original, it has to like give real explanations as to why this shit is happening, and it makes sense within context of the world. And like,
Yeah, Isekai is a very weird anime choice if they don't explain the world correctly.
there's one type of isekai thing I like now, and that is literally just people getting to another world and like having a cozy life, and
Yep.
that's it. That's it.
Mm.
Just chilling, having a good time. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good
Love you
one.
guys. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at himedia.gg/discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at himedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.